What's up guys, this is Collin from Gravler. You're watching OCML's Artist Spotlight. What inspired me to get into music was the band Blink-182, man. Music for me is an outlet to, say things that I couldn't say, if I didn't have anybody to talk to or something. It's just an outlet for me to get out there and say what I need to say. So yeah, as a kid, my first instrument was actually drums. And then the first band I was actually in, I had a friend that was a drummer, and so I was the less proficient drummer. So he decided to take drums, and I decided to do vocals. And then from there, yeah, I played guitar, I played bass in bands, but mainly just vocals. And I like it. It's cool to be the front man and be able to tell my story, like my life in each song, and so that's cool. And so definitely, yeah, Blink-182 has been like a huge influence for me. I had two of their DVDs growing up, like the Urethra Chronicles 1 and Urethra Chronicles 2, and I just wanted to like be like them. They're just like outlandish off the walls, do whatever they want, and I don't know, I just kind of really looked down for them and stuff. Yeah, I kind of do have a memorable one on stage. I mean, it's happened a couple times, but the first time it happened was, so I was playing, and I wear somewhat tighter pants than some people, and my pants just exploded. It just posse jumped and they just exploded. And so I had this giant ass rip coming out of the ass of my pants, and that was the first time that happened to me. That was a shock. I didn't know what to do. I was like halfway through the set, I was like, shit, so I guess I can't turn around too much. And it was actually at a college. It was at Cal Poly Pomona. So that was interesting. Other than that, nothing too memorable besides getting to play some of the places that we've been able to play, such as, I don't know, like Chain Reaction with some of the coolest bands I've ever played, House of Blues, Warped Tour, we're on the Kevin Says stage, and that's just amazing with some of the bands that I've looked up to, like Amorosa, Knuckle Puck, Major League, just like some of these crazy bands, and be able to share that same stage is just like an experience within itself. So the current members of my band: Nick Mack on guitar, Jose Zepeda on drums, and currently we have Nate on bass. We've had a lot of switching around through the years, and we used to be called Go for Gold, and we had two other members. We had a different bassist and actually a synth and DJ guy, and that was awesome. And we actually had different guitarists through on out, but with our current lineup, when we lost those two guys and then we decided to switch over to Gravler, it's funny, Gravler was actually a fake name. It was, when we were in Go for Gold, my guitarist and my drummer had this like fake hardcore side project that was called Gravler, and there's even like a merch made and everything. They're just like, they didn't play anything, it was just like a joke. And then so we decided to just adopt that name. It kind of seemed to fit, and we liked it better than anything else, and so we just kind of went with Gravler. And like to us, I mean, it started out as a fake name, but for me personally, it kind of means like, starting from the gravel and like working your way up, like starting from dirt and just like from nothing, and then just kind of like working your way up. And that's what we've done. We've built a decent following throughout the years, and yeah, and we're still working our way up. So our music making process is like this. Mainly it's Nick Mack, a guitarist, and Jose, our drummer, do a lot of like experimenting, and they do a lot of stuff on their own, and they basically are the ones that come up with the main music and the structure of all of our songs. And then bass will go in there and do their thing, and a lot of times they just send me tracks that are like, hey, write to this, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's do it. So I get a lot of times I gotta write to stuff that I had never heard before, but it usually works out pretty good, and we're all synced pretty good together, so I don't have too much issues writing to their music. And there have been times where I brought music to the table and stuff too, but mainly it's those guys. They do all the hard work, and I come in last, but it's great when everything comes together and we see the finished product. So so the ultimate goal for our band, for me personally, it's just to have fun and play music. We're all at a point in our lives right now where we're like doing other things. I mean, we have like steady jobs. You know, I graduated college and I have a steady job, and now I'm like playing music, and I've been playing music my whole life through that. But for us, it's mainly just to see how far we can go with it. I mean, if it turned into a profession and if it was sustainable enough to be able to do that, then of course, then that would be like the main goal. You know, we're always striving towards that, but right now we're just kind of having fun and seeing how far it goes. So, a piece of advice I would give to an aspiring musician would be just put in the amount of time that is necessary to become a proficient musician and a proficient band. I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of times you're not considered professional until you put 10,000 hours into that specific task that you're doing. So if you think of it as you want to do music as a full-time job, then you should be putting 8 hours a day at least into that music. And if you want to really put yourself out there, then in the beginning you really just got to play as many shows as you can. Every freaking weekend be playing a show, be meeting people. When I created the coalition, that's what I wanted to do when I got into the scene. I didn't know anybody because I was from Northern California, and so I came down here for college, and I got in with these guys that can go for gold, and then we played a couple shows, and I realized that like, oh, all these guys are friends. This is like crazy. This is cool. I don't know anybody, but I want to get to know them. So I created the coalition for that reason, because I wanted to be friends with everybody, and I wanted to be able to share like what we're doing, what shows we're going to be playing, like if there's any contacts out there that we need to know, like how do we get merch printed, what are the best guys to do graphics and posters and artwork, and I didn't know anything, so that's why I really wanted to do that. And I think anybody who's really trying to get into the scene or get into music needs to do the same thing. They really need to put themselves out there and get out there and talk to people, and that's the best route, I think. So recently we signed to Human Heart Records, and we'll be putting an album out. It's looking like March. I can't give a specific date, I can't give a specific title, but we've been recording. We're basically done recording. I have to go in and do a couple more vocal tracks, and then Nick's gonna edit it all, get the masters going, and then we're gonna be putting it out in March, hopefully. So that's gonna be awesome, because our music is, I feel like every time an artist writes a new album, it evolves, and so, you know, this is going to be our third EP together, so it's going to be cool. The music's awesome so far. Our initial record with Go for Gold, Mixed Feelings, they already had music written, and I had to come in. It was funny because I joined the band, and they were like, we're going to be recording, and we have shows coming up. We have these new songs. We've got like 4 or 5 tracks. We need lyrics written, and we've got a show in like 4 weeks. So if you could do that, then that'd be awesome. I was like, oh shit, awesome. Well, this is a nice task for me. So I had to go in and I wrote all those, and I just kind of slopped them together, but they actually turned out pretty good. And normally I like to put a lot of personal experience, like things that happen in my life, into music. And that CD isn't so much, it's more of just like genuine pop punk, like your typical, I don't know, that's why it's called Mixed Feelings, because it's kind of all over the place. There's like love songs, angsty songs, stuff like that. And then when we wrote Cold Summer, that was really, like, that CD is like super sentimental to me, just because every single song on that CD was a specific time in my life. So like starting with Gordon and Pearl, that was the street that I lived on in Pomona, and that was about a time where I walked in on my roommate that was like ODing, and so we had to like figure that shit out. And so that song, a lot of people don't know what that song's about, but if you just listen to the music, then you would figure it out. So that's what that's about. And then every other song is like going through depression, parts of my life that happened between my ages of like 20 and 25. So I think Sam from the record label, he posted on Facebook looking for new artists, and it's something that we really kind of wanted to get into. We feel like we're at that stage where representation label could really help us out, and we have unlike other bands, we can't tour a lot, and so just because we have our steady jobs and stuff like that, so it's kind of hard to find a label that's like, okay, we'll sign you, but you know, we realize you can't tour. But luckily Sam was able to work with us on a deal that made sense for us and made sense for him. And so yeah, we found him through Facebook, and then you know, we talked for a couple months, and then we decided to sign with him because we thought it would be the right choice for us. It's a pretty small label right now. He's got Second Go, which is another pop punk band from Phoenix, and then there is an acoustic artist that is kind of, we actually met him on Warped Tour, but he hasn't really been doing much. He's kind of like on and off. I think he's gonna be back soon, but other than that, it's just those two guys, and I know he's recruiting right now, looking for more guys to build his label up. So it's a pretty small label. Yeah, so if you want to find us, you can go to gravler.com, that's gravler.com, or you can find us on Bandcamp, we're on Spotify. You can also just go on the coalition, the SoCal Pop Punk Coalition. I started it. Jose, my drummer, is an admin over there. There's a couple other admins. Trenton, which has been like a huge asset for us. But yeah, you can go on there. Definitely put your music out on there. Don't spam. If you spam, we'll ban you. It's you know, we try to keep it clean. I think that's why it's been so successful. But yeah. So my name is Collin Marchese from Gravler. Thanks for watching.